You don't need a lot of weight.
No. The range of motion feels huge.
And so as soon as we unveiled it, they hit the grinders and sparks
sparks
flew all
flying.
over. And I was on the loudspeakers, Legasaurus! The rumor was that they made like 400, and this was number 178.
Massenomics.
We're back at the storage shed with Super D, Donnie Thompson again, Mr. 3K. We're talking about one of the craziest pieces of gym equipment that everyone's talking about. It's the H squat from Hammer Strength, the Legasaurus.
Legasaurus, yeah.
And did you kind of bring this back from the dead? I mean, I don't remember there was a period of time when people weren't talking about the
I purchased
H squat.
this particular one in 1996. I think I paid $3,600 for it brand new.
Okay.
And it cost $400 to ship, right? And then they had a tech come and put it together. But we watched back then, The Simpsons were on, I guess they still are, but
Yeah.
they did a thing called Truckosaurus, and they took Bart Simpson to Truckosaurus, right? And I was like, well, that's pretty cool. I'd like to call this Legasaurus, you know, because it's the same thing. So we made it like that. We had this banner made, Legasaurus, and then what we did, we covered it up, and we were going to reveal it in the commercial gym I own, Powerhouse Gym, right?
Yeah.
And so what we did is I took 2 chunks of steel on each side, and we had 2 guys with grinders. And so as soon as we unveiled it, they hit the grinders and sparks flew all over. And then we had this guy, Mark Bo Blackberg, and Hotskins leg pressing it as we took as they uncovered it. So all the lights in the gym were off and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was ended up pulling off. It was a complete spectacle. And I was on the loudspeakers, Legasaurus!
Yeah.
And so the grinders went, sparks flying everywhere. Bo Blackberg's there pressing it. The things come off and everybody's like, yeah! And then the fear set in. When people actually saw it, and they're like, what is this?
What is it?
They started getting scared. And
so this was before, you didn't even have the Instagram to put that on.
No, there was no social media.
Yeah.
You know, you couldn't brag about it. People just came and would snarl at it. What's that thing? That's just a lot of work.
And it is, you know, there's nothing like it. You know, it's enormous. I'm going to need to try it. You're going to have to show me. Looking at it even, I'm like, I think I'm kind of starting to get the idea of where you're going and what you're doing.
The whole platform is everything.
Yeah.
Alan Collins, a really smart guy from England, he owns a gym out there and runs a bunch of meets. He's an older fellow. Alan Collins said to make a cam for this to do what it's doing would have to be almost 10 to 15 feet in the ground, you know, like the old Nautilus.
Yeah.
So the way they designed this ended up being pretty perfect. You know, the only thing is they use these, you see these springs down here?
Right.
They were going to use that as some type of minimal resistance to bring it back and forth. And so what we did is we just helped it out with bands. And so we just put bands on the other end, and it ended up working perfect.
Yeah. So you say, I mean, this will feel different than a traditional leg press or
let me tell you what the biggest difference is when you do a leg press and your knees start coming down with the sled, you'll start crushing your stomach, right? Everything will be crushing in your chest and stomach. You have that guttural pressure going on.
Right.
And normally you'd have to exhale as you lower the weight. There's none on this. No matter how low you set it, your guts do not get squashed.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean you're free to work, and you can big plate up there, put your feet wherever you want. It's good, you know.
Yeah. So you guys use this though. It's not just a display piece.
We actually use it. Like after my first knee, it's a big part of my thing. It'll be a big part of my second one coming up. So we love it.
It's and
you ready to climb up there?
Yeah, I better try it out here. So you tell me what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah, just grab stuff and hold on.
Yeah.
You know,
hold on for the ride.
Yeah. That's it. And it's pretty much set for you. And then I put my feet a little down lower. Don't put them too high.
Okay. So like something like that. Right. And then there's this.
And you see, I wouldn't hold on to that. I would go put your hands behind you like, there you go. And when you're ready, take a deep breath and try to do like you're squatting your shoulders back.
Okay.
All right.
And is there safety catches that I got to worry about moving?
You'll see.
Oh.
There you go. So like if you see if the feet were higher, he wouldn't extend all the way.
Right.
The lower the feet, the more extension he's going to get. And you notice how you get right there. Normally on a leg press, your guts will feel like they're being smashed.
Right.
You don't feel that on here. And the bands just make it all come together.
So all that's on it right now is band tension.
Well, we got 235s in the back. So you got 70 pounds on there, plus the band tension. And you don't need a lot of weight.
No. Yeah, kind of hard to describe.
But it was getting like, they thought there was like Jim Fail Nation, all them, so they were putting memes about how stupid this thing is. And then I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, it is not stupid. Trust me. It works. If you actually had one and used it, you'd see. And people are like, why don't you do squats? I'm like, well, we just did squats. We do this after squats.
There's something about the movement of it that the range of motion feels huge. It feels like you're just like pressing, and it's just keeping going. And it's something about like
there's no really short stroke on this.
Right. It feels like such a huge movement pattern. I didn't actually know when I was sitting here, am I going to be moving back? Is this going to be moving forward?
It's always, but it's never ends too.
Right.
You never know. Every time you get on that thing, you don't know whether your upper body's going to be moving or your lower body's going to be, or both,
Yeah. This is wild. And, these aren't, you can't buy this new anymore.
No, you cannot.
You can, occasionally they come up places, but these are extremely expensive now.
How many do you think were in existence?
The rumor was they made like 400, and this was number 178.
Okay.
So because they have the serial numbers underneath there if you look under. So I don't know. We'd have to get a hammer rep to actually say exactly how many were made, but I think it was under 400. And believe it or not, like 20 years ago, you couldn't give these things away. Yet now people are paying $9,000 for them, $10,000.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants them.
Right.
And even like I got a message from Brian Shaw. Hey Donnie, I want one of those Legasaurus.
Right.
He would love these things.
Yeah. So not this number 178, not for sale.
No. If I croak, if I have a third knee operation or something like that, maybe somebody's just gonna fight over it.
Yeah. That's really cool. I'm glad you showed it. I'm actually really cool to actually get to try it because this is one of those things. I would say even after just doing a couple light reps on there, you almost have to sit in it and feel what it is like to know what the Legasaurus really feels like.
And back in the 90s when it came out, the people that used it never stopped using it. It was like a small contingency of people, male and female, would get on here, and they never minded the climb. They never minded the descent.
Yeah.
They did their sets, but they would usually like only come down once or so and have the waist steady the whole time.
Yeah.
Unless you had a trainer to put them on for you.
Yeah. That's awesome. We appreciate you showing it off. You do make a couple other things. So what are just a quick rundown of equipment inventions that you have? We kind of talked about a little bit on the gym tour, but what is the...
So some of the things I've come up with over the years through powerlifting and stuff is like, I first started with, one of the very first things was a fat bar, right?
Yep.
And then Spud, the guy who owns Spud Inc., Mark Bartley, he was my training partner, so he would be with me and he'd help me out, right?
Yeah.
So him and I would put our heads together, and this is one right here, this ab strap. We came up with that in 2001.
Okay.
And then the strap for the reverse hyper, the straps for the sleds, and then the belt squat belt. That was our design, and then the ones on the rack savers. So we started with those five, and in 2004, Spud's like, hey, do you mind if I use those things to start my company? And I'm like, well, no, go ahead and use them. I didn't care because I said I don't want to be known as the strap guy.
Right.
Was I stupid, But thank God he did the bow tie for me later on.
Yeah.
So it ended up working out,
Yeah.
But we started with those, and then we started with the fat bar, and that's my name too.
Yeah.
And that came out in '99, and Bo Blackberg made the first ones, and he stamped them fat bar, so it's like proof. But so then it started. Then I came up with the fat bell idea in 05.
Yeah.
And in 06, I pitched it to Dragon Door, and then I started pitching it to other companies once Dragon Door turned it down. And then eventually, 10 years later, Rogue, in 2015, it was released. And now there's, a couple of derivatives of it from other companies and weirder shapes and stuff, but this kind of was the first one to push everybody to think outside the dumbbell.
Yeah.
And then, so that was a big one of mine. And the bow tie, of course, is one of my bigger ones. And that was because I got diagnosed with frozen shoulder.
Yeah.
And I remember the old Dick Hartzell band trick. So I just made it, and Spud saw it and his eyes lit up, and we ended up, now we're kind of another one coming out.
Right.
The bow tie vice.
Fat pad.
Fat pad was 2006. My PT buddy Mike Johnson was floor pressing, and he tore his AC joint in his shoulder. And I told Dr. Lee, I'm like, how can we stop getting our shoulders? And he goes, quit benching on tiny pad made for women and kids. He said, you need a pad that's thicker that's thicker for say scapular movement and wider for positioning. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. So that weekend there was a meet and we measured everybody. It was like 103 lifters. And
Yeah.
we measured shoulders retracted like this, right? And so we took the measurements. We had 4 different pads made, and the one that they sell now is the one that won out, right? And I called it the fat pad.
Right.
And it started off, I had the first one in 06. And then when I took it to Rogue, the owner of Rogue grabbed it out of my hands and said, we'll make this for you. I never even said anything about it.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's pretty much my favorite product, you know.
You've showed us at least, we can't talk about it though, but you've showed us at least 3 things here today that you're working on as we speak.
And they've been around a long time, you know.
Yeah,
it just takes a product a long time to get people
But you got
comfortable.
a lot of things cooking all the time though.
Yeah, and I don't sit around thinking of things. If it doesn't hit me, it doesn't happen.
Right.
So
That's cool. Let us know if you've ever tried Legasaurus for yourself. Let us know what your favorite Thompson product is, because just about everyone listening, you've either got a bow tie, you've used a fat pad before, you've used fat bells before. So let us know. Thanks,
tempering tables.
We didn't even talk
the
about
tempering
body
rollers.
temp. Right.
The body tempering, the whole. You know, like I said, I always say I didn't come up with it. We stumbled on it, right?
Yeah,
And it had to be in existence. So, but we really got lucky with that, and it's helped so many people. And every day, to this day, on the social media, I get messages. Body tempering is a big part of my life. Thank you so much. And I'm like, man, you talk about giving back.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's about giving back. I always saying, what can you contribute? You know, what are you contributing to the team? And that's, I think, what my contribution would be is the body tempering. You know, we contribute to people's well-being through that kind of through sheer weight. You know, it's very simple.
Right. We appreciate you letting us come here and ruin your day and bug you and ask you questions. So this is a lot of fun.
As long as you didn't mind Cripple D host,
no,
man.
we don't
got
mind
the new
Cripple
knee.
D. That's nothing.
Got the new knee.
We only need one knee around here to do this. All right. Thanks, everyone.